Good morning, class 6. Today we are going to start the revision of chapter number 13, finite and non-finite verb, as we have completed our syllabus of grammar. So we are going to start with the revision of it. So as we have discussed before that what are finite and non-finite verb. I hope you all remember that finite verbs are the verbs which change regarding to the subject and the tense which is used in the sentence. Whereas when we talk about non-finite verb, they do not change regarding the subject or the tense which is used in the sentence. Today we are going to discuss some examples with it. As you can see in your book on page number 73, the first example of finite verb is she watches cartoons in the evening. If I'll change the subject she and I'll write they, so the verb will change. What will we write? They watch instead of she watches. So when the subject change, the verb is changing. So this is a finite verb here. Watches is a finite verb here. Now the next sentence is I watched cartoon last evening. Now if I will change the tense of the sentence, as right now it is in simple past, but if I'll change it into past perfect continuous, what will I write? I had been watching cartoons last evening, right? So when the verb changes, if the subject or the tense of the sentence change, then it is a finite verb. Now let's come to the example of non-finite verb. I want to watch a film this week. Now, in this sentence, if I will change the subject, for example, if instead of I'll write she. So the verb want will change. She wants to watch the film this week. To watch will remain same. There will be no change in the word to watch, right? This verb is same if the subject change or if it does not change, right? So what will we do? That want here is a finite verb and to watch here is a non-finite verb, as it is not changing when the subject is changing, right? Next, Radha and Seema wanted to watch a film last week. Now if I would have written Seema wanted to watch the film last week, instead of Radha and Seema, I have written only Seema. Again, the subject is changing. Right now, it is in the plural form, but if I'll write it Seema, it is in the singular form. Then it will be again a non-finite verb, to watch. Now, let's discuss some more example. She waits for him at the bus stop. Now, here, I will change the verb if the subject changes. She waits. They wait. I wait. He waits. Right? You waited for him for a long time. Here, if I'll change the tense of the sentence, then the verb will change. You waited for him for a long time. Again, this is a simple past. If I'll change it into past perfect, what will I write? You had waited for him for a long time. He will wait for him until tomorrow. Right? He will be waiting for him until tomorrow. Again, if I'm changing the tense, the verb is changing. Now come to the next side. I want him to paint a picture. She wants him to paint a picture. To paint is not changing. So it is a non-finite verb. And want is a finite verb. See the next example. She wants him to paint the picture. They want him to paint the picture. So, when the subject change and the verb does not change, it is a non-finite. And when the subject or the tense of the subject changes and the verb also changes with it, then it is a finite verb. As we move further, non-finite verb is further divided into three parts, that is infinitive, gerunds and participle. First of all, we are going to talk about infinitive. Infinitives are the verbs when we add to the verb. For example, to play, to go, to work, to dance, to drink, to sing, to eat, to help. These all are the examples of infinitive. But infinitive is also divided into two parts, that is infinitive and bare infinitive. Now what is the difference between two? When in the sentence we are talking about any purpose, intention or possibility, then we will use to in the verb. But if in the sentence we are not talking about these three things, what? Purpose, intentions and possibility, then we will not add to the verb. Those are known as bare infinitive. If the to is added to the verb, it is known as infinitive. If to is not added to the verb, it is known as bare infinitive. When do we add to the verb? When we are talking about any purpose, intention or possibility. I hope infinitives are clear to you. Let's come to some examples. It is late. I have to go now. What is the infinitive verb in this? To go. Right? Next, the ship is about to sail. Again, to sail here is the infinitive. When do you have to leave tomorrow morning? To leave here is the infinitive. Right? Now let's talk about gerunds. What are gerunds? When we add ing to the verb, then those are known as gerunds. For example, swimming, exploring, dancing, reading, walking, these all are the examples of gerunds. But there is a small difference between the gerunds and the participle. In gerunds, the words in which we are adding ing works as a noun or the main subject. They do not work as the main verb. They work as noun, and noun is the subject, mainly the subject in the sentence. For example, if I talk, swimming is my favorite sport. Now here, swimming, ing is added to the verb. Now it has become the subject of the sentence. About what we are talking here? Swimming. The swimming here is the subject of the sentence. So, when we add ing to the verb and it works as a subject or the noun in the sentence, it is known as gerund. Now, let's come to the participle. In participle, we add ed or en to the verb, or we add ing to the verb. Now you will say that, ma'am, you told us that in gerunds we add ing to the verb, but in participle also we add ing to the verb when we are talking about the present tense. When we talk about the past tense, we add ed or en. And now what we have to do here is, when you have to differentiate between the gerund and the participle. What you have to check, that if the ing word is acting as an adjective, then it is a participle. And if it is acting as a noun, then it is a gerund. Hope both the difference are clear to you. Now let's discuss some exercises. So first of all, you have to fill in the blanks with infinitives. She wants dash to the party tonight. She wants to go. As an infinitive, we add to before the verb. He needs to practice his guitar every day. Now you have to underline the infinitive in this sentence. What is the infinitive in this sentence? To practice. I wish dash around the world one day. Travel. I wish to travel around the world one day. Now the last one is your homework. It's easy dash a new language. Learn. You have to fill in the blank with the infinitive. Next exercise. Fill in the blanks with gerunds. Dash, the dangerous river requires plenty of courage. Now in gerunds, what do? We add ing to the verb. So what will we write? Crossing the dangerous river. Stop dash and start dash. Stop arguing and start working. Last one is your homework again. Dash pay. Pay is your verb which you have to fill in this blank. 2 lakh for that car is reasonable. Fill in the blanks with the participle. First one is, the dash finger left a mark on the glass door. Move. You have to fill in the blank with the participles. The moving finger left the mark on the glass door. We saw the fox dash the rabbit. Chase. We saw the fox chased the rabbit. There was a dash mirror near the doorsteps. Break. There was a broken mirror near the doorsteps. Now the last one is your homework. I am happy that the government is funding the treatment of dash soldiers. Injure is the verb which is given to you. In the last exercise, you have to tell with that the underlined verbs are the gerunds or the participles. First one is I love eating ice cream. Here, eating is a simple verb, right? It is not acting as an adjective, so it is a gerund here. Next, the running water was cold. Now here, running is telling more information about water, that it is a running water. So here the running is a present participle. She started crying when she heard the news. Now again, crying is acting as a normal verb. Or last is your homework. The singing bird woke me up. Here the singing is a gerund or the participle. Hope this chapter is clear to you. Now in the next period, we'll solve the worksheet of it. Thank you class. Have a nice day.